Okay, folks, let's do it. Today is our let's try this again. It's not October. It's August 26th. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Trust me. It's late. I've been doing a lot of programming, yeah. So now we're on to the optimization API that's offered by Tradestation. So let me see if I can pull up here the so the idea of this is that it allows you to perform a lot of your optimizations, not using the chart, but do it with like a Tradestation app, if you will. And so you can optimize over, different intervals, and that's one thing which is really cool, which you can't do with the normal performance report. Let me show you what happens normally, and then we'll go into why the optimizer is important. And then I want to try to do this really quick, and then maybe I'll come back tomorrow with another part, like part 2 or something like that. But you can get into the weeds with this. This is going to take up a lot of time and effort and energy. So let's just try to keep it basic. So this is what I've been working on. So we're going to get to that by the end of this little presentation, by the end of this coding program here. So you see ES at 1 minute. Here is I've got Albrook's 1 on, and when I have Albrook's 1 on, I hit the strategy performance report, and so on one of these, so many desktops. All right, after I run the strategy performance report, I mean, it's not like it's great or anything like that, but this is it for the 1 minute time frame. If I move it to the 5 minute time frame, you see it changes. So again, you put it on different time frames, you get different results. The thing about the optimizer is it can run multiple time frames all at one time. Not only multiple time frames, but also instead of just doing, and you see there I changed it back to 1 minute, but instead of being on like 300 days, it's back on like 5 days. So 360 days. Instead of being on ES, if we move it to at NQ, then that profit margin changes from $500 or so to yeah, I mean, it's up there. It's up to 6,000 compared to the 500, but it's still a very wonky curve. It's a lot of drawdown and everything like that. But anyway, when I started working with the Albrook's strategy and that kind of thing, my coding wasn't all that great, so it's a lot better now. But anyway, we'll get to that later. So again, the idea here is, let me show you. If I bring it back to at ES, this just kind of show you how it works. You see here, when I ran Albrook's H1 at ES, it got 60,000, and I think I have to check what the options are here, but I'm pretty sure that the options are saying that it's got 10 contracts on at a time. But you see, instead of 60,000, this is showing 600. So a factor of 100, or so I guess 100 contracts. Anyway, all right. So that's how that works. And if you go to trades list here, you see that when you go all the way down to trades list, it took 113 trades. This essentially is one test, one iteration, but when we pull up the Excel spreadsheet, you see that this is the results from the optimizer report. You see that it took 113 trades on that one test. So if we ran optimizations or in stuff like that, it would show multiple different tests, and then it would show the number of trades on each test. Yada 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 yada. All right. So again, the idea is to do this from scratch. All right, so let's get all this out of here. Clear this out. Just want to take a look at one thing. How come that turned off? Oh, got one over here. Oh, zeros and twos, yeah. Okay. Nice. All right, so we're gonna use this. We're gonna come over here, and I'm just gonna delete all these. Hopefully I don't need them. We're gonna come up with a fresh new screen. And really, we don't even much need the chart right now. So what you got to do is you got to go to new, and then you go to Trading App, and then we're gonna call this. I'm just gonna call. I've done it so many times, and I think maybe this is gonna be the time where I do it the best. So I will go ahead and try to make this the final one. All right, so we're gonna make this AP optimization API. I'm gonna call it final. It might not be the final. Sometimes not. Sometimes it is. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and verify that there. Go to Toolbox, and when you're at Toolbox, you want to go down to Optimization. If you can't find Optimization, you right-click in one of these headings here. Right-click in there, and then you do Choose Items. And after you do Choose Items, then you ought to be able to go down far enough to find what comes up as Optimization Job and Optimizer. So there's Job there. You click that. There's Optimizer there. You click that. Okay. And so you have access to those. Double click that. Double click that. Come over here, and now that you've got these on the screen, we're going to click that. Go to Properties, and then go to Properties there, and we're just going to call this Job. And then we're going to come. It doesn't have any events, you see. All right, we're going to go to Optimizer, and then we're going to go to Events. You see it's got 3. All you have to do is double click on this. Shout out to Markplex, because he made that much easier. Double click in there, double click in there, double click in there. All right, and then we're going to change the name of this. So instead of Optimizer 1, it's just going to be Optimizer. Hit enter. All right, now also we're going to have a form. You saw that form that we had earlier. Just right click in this white space in here, go to add form, and then here is your form. Open that up. Now this is your form. This is the window that's going to pop up, right? So there's nothing on the window, right? And it's this funky gray. Let's change the color to a nice light blue. Okay, and then we're going to change the name of it. We'll just call it form. Form. Okay, and then you go back to your toolbox, and now your toolbox is different, right? Because you're on the form instead of trading application or chart analysis or anything like that. So now that you're under toolbox, now you want to click a button. That's going to be our start optimizer. We're going to have a progress bar. We're going to have a to text box to enter information into, and then we'll have at least a label. All right, so we're going to have a label here. Text box, that's going to be for strategy. That's going to be for your symbols. And then this is, what is this? This is a progress bar. Progress bar, and then there's the button. So this button is going to be called. Start optimization. All right. Drag that out a little bit wider. Text, well, that's the text that shows up as start optimization. We need to change the name of it. Name of it is going to be start optimization. I'm not very complex. My wife will tell you that I am, so go figure. All right, strategy input. All right, and we also want to change the name of this. It's going to be called, you guessed it, strategy input. Okay, let's change the orientation of this. So you go here, and then you go to visible, enabled, doc. You go up, and oh, it's on the window. Text box. I feel like it's on the window. Where are you at here? Yeah, I thought it was like right in here. Strategy input. Text align. There we go. Left. All right. Center. Text box. text align center. This here is going to be text align middle center. Okay, middle center. Okay, this one here is going to be the so for the strategy we need both what we're the ticker that we're using as well as the strategy that we're using. So this will be, we'll come back and change this later, but this will be called we'll just call it ticker. Or symbol input. Okay, all right, there's our progress bar. Progress bar 1, I like it. Progress bar is all we need. That there, that there, that there. That doesn't look right. Okay, I like that better. Okay, now that you have that, right? So now that you have that, we can just hit verify, go back over here to our actual API. Now, what we want to do is go to the actual analysis technique, the main optimization body of work, if you will, the analysis technique. Go to this, and then you go to events. Now, when it initializes, when you open the app or when you open the actual program, you double click in there. Okay, so this is what happens when you actually open the program. So if I hit verify right now, and then if I go I'm gonna go ahead and open it up because we're calling this what? We're calling this, oh yeah, it's up here. So you go to apps, and now it's just right up here. Right, so you see I've been practicing, I've been working on it for a little bit. These were a couple that I did when I didn't know what I was doing. This is one that I just imported from somebody else. These three here is what I was working on, just kind of learning the optimization application or API. So now this is the most recent one, and click on that. And click on that, this screen comes up. Now this screen comes up, where's our light blue? Our light blue is not here, right? So we got to make sure that we got to make that light blue come up. How do you make that light blue come up? Well, when you bring this program onto your platform, you didn't do anything. There's nothing running here, right? But you did create this form, right? But how do you get that form to show up? Well, you have to go to, when you initialize your analysis technique, you need to go to form.show, right? Verify that, and now it shows up, right? So now you got this button, you got these two inputs, you have this just a label, and then you got this progress bar. This button right now, I'm clicking it, it doesn't do anything. Okay, so we got to make that button do something. With the click, we got to make it do something. All right. So how do we make a button do something? We use the events, like an event handler, right? So we go back to the form, we click on the button, right? Now that we're on the button, you see it says button, and we know that we're on the button. Go to events, right? And then you click right in here, so you can name your method handler to handle a click happening. Double click in there, and then it just automatically names the start optimization click. That's fine. Now you go back over here, you see the asterisk there, means that something updated over here because these two are linked. Click here, and all of a sudden you got a start optimization click. It automatically created your method for you over here. Now it didn't put anything in the method, so it's like, what do you want to do when you click on the button? So just to show you what happens, we can say print. Oh, I'm working on learning Python, if I hadn't told you, right? So now that I'm working on learning Python, you know, I'm working with the hello world and the integer strings, booleans, and I'm going back through the whole thing. So anyway, hello world. Okay, so we're going to verify that. When I hit start optimization, you see down here, it printed hello world. Okay. All right. That's the only thing about this window that it creates, is it kind of disappears on you from time to time. Okay, all right, so hello world. Instead of doing hello world, we wanted to start an optimization. Now this is where the fun comes in. All right, so now we're going to make a new method. We ourselves are going to make a new method. It's going to be called start optimization. That I'll come up here. All right, method void start optimization begin in. All right, now when we click the button, it's going to run the start optimization. What do we want to happen when the start optimization runs? And like I said, some of this is just going to be going through and learning what's in the optimization API, the what's in the information, the documentation of it. So like I said, I've been through it a couple times, so I kind of know what's in it. I may have to look back in it for reference, but let me see if I can fumble through this. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to we're going to have a variable, and it's going to be ts opt Tradestation optimization space, right? ts opt dot job. It's going to be called job. And then down here, we're going to have something called job. That's the object, job. It's going to receive the actual defined job from, guess what? Defined job. Now, defined job hasn't been defined, so we have to start that. All right, now once we get done with this, though, now the optimizer is going to use job. Optimizer dot, come on. We'll get it. Start job, job. Now you see when I went to the parentheses there, for the optimizer, it's for the start job function, it's asking for a job of tsop.job name and class, right? And that is this, right? So job. Okay, so now our defined job needs to return a defined job back to it. So when we call on defined job needs to do the heavy lifting. And it's not going to be a void return, right? Couldn't be a void return because we're actually telling it to return the job. So what kind of return is it going to be? It's going to return a job, tsop.job. And we got to use tsop because we're not using the namespace up here, using el system dot, I don't know if it's, tsopt or something like that. Apparently they say that the namespace maybe is so large or something, they don't want you to use the namespace at the top. They'd rather that you just, or it's more sensible to just write out tsopt when you need to use it. Okay, that's more cumbersome for me because that's not the way I learned to program with EasyLanguage. So you know, it's a little bit for me to wrap my head around, but you know, I'm trying to get through it. But one of the things we do need to use is the EasyLanguage system namespace. So we have a return type of tsop.job. The name of the method is defined job. We need to have some variables. All right, so one of the variables needs to be tsop.job. The object name will be job. All right, the other variable, apparently, let me see if I can, I think there's another video or something that breaks it down really well, but let me see if I can pull up. This is the documentation for it. EasyLanguage Optimization API Developer's Guide. All right. So when you go through it, it has a lot of stuff. And I don't say I was intimidated at first. I mean, I was intimidated. When you go down, it's like, you know, 115 pages. But actually the last 50 pages are just API reference, right? So tomorrow I get a chance to go through the actual documentation. I just kind of skimmed through it as I was making this work. But tomorrow I'll go through the actual documentation, and then when I come back and do the follow-up video tomorrow I ought to be able to have a little bit better understanding about what's going on and make some other adjustments. One of the things I am concerned about though is some of my better strategies, they have multiple data streams, and I hadn't been able to tell that this can handle multiple data streams. So anyway, we'll see. Maybe I have an answer tomorrow. All right, so tsop dot what is this one? I know that we need securities. We need strategies. tsop.strategies. We're going to call that strategy. And then we need tsop.securities. And then that's going to be security. Now the strategies holds the strategy. The securities holds the symbol, the interval, and the number of days back. Okay? So let's look at those now. Now that we get into the main body of the local body of the method, we're going to say that job up here, this first job, we got to start with the main thing because everything comes from the main thing. And one of the ways that they broke it down really good in the documentation, like I said, this documentation ought to be pretty helpful for you guys. It broke it down into like a tree where you see this tree here. It starts off as job, and under job you have securities. Under securities you have add security, and you have your symbols. And if you go straight down, there's another tree. It has, oh, here it is. Yeah, so screenshot this page if you want to, or if you're on the Discord, you can download it from the Discord. But under here is securities. You have the add security, set symbol, interval, and then under your strategies, you have your strategy, the inputs of your strategy if you want to optimize the range, and then also under you have settings, strategies, securities. Those are the three legs. Those are the three branches of your optimization API. But for right now, we're not going to be using the settings one. We'll do that tomorrow. Okay, so job equals tsop. No, I think it's just new tsop.job. Okay, and then from there, we're going to do security equals job.securities.add security. And it ends in a function like that. And then security dot is it symbol? Security dot, yeah, I think it's security dot, I don't feel like it's add security, because we just did that. All right, well, like I said, I've been through it a couple times, but we're just going to go back here just to get it right. All right, security, tsop, security. Yeah, that's what I said. Security.symbol, but it didn't pop up as I was typing it. So, interesting. We're gonna try it like this. We're gonna try it like this, and then we'll do security dot nope, I got something wrong because it should be popping up. So tsop.job tsop.strategies strategy securities. I don't know why I feel like that should be security. It is singular security. Okay, all right. So maybe that'll change it. Yep. All right, so that worked. And now you see, and this is why this thing took me a while to kind of wrap my head around, and still, I was talking to one of the experienced, one of the kind of professional programmers, and he was essentially telling me that some of the these APIs and being able to connect APIs, whether it's Tradestation to TradingView or all these keys and tokens and stuff, they go by like a set of rules and everything, such as this with this API. If you don't know what the rules, if you don't know what the nomenclature, that hierarchy is, you just kind of I don't know, shooting in the dark. So I think being able to have a reference, being able to go to the reference is important. But I mean, I like to be able to do stuff from memory, but so many unique things that you will use maybe minimally, it may not be worth the mental pressure to try to memorize it. But anyway, all right, so we're going to do security.symbol, and then so now we have security dot I think it was like last bar back or history, and then from the history now we get our last date, which is going to be date time dot now, and then we're going to do security dot history, and then this will be days back. And so last date is going to say, all right, well, from what day backwards are you trying to test? So that's the last date. And then this days back is how many days back are you trying to test? So we're going to do 300 right here, and then the interval that we want to do, security dot interval equals dot I think it's set minute chart. So 1 minute chart. That. And again, when I had this set as securities, it did not work. Now, as I understand, when you get ready to optimize multiple tickers, this will need to change to securities. And so, like I said, that's probably something that we'll do tomorrow, because I'll get a little bit more familiar with it, and that way I won't, just kind of run you guys around. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. So we have our job. We have the security, which was added by symbol. Nope, security symbol, because that's going to be that's going to be here, and then we'll do, it's a string, so it'd be at es. Okay, and then we have our interval, we have our last date, we have our days back. Okay, so now that we're all done with that, we're going to return the job. Okay, and that job goes back out of this method. It goes back to here, which assigns to here, which goes into here, which optimizer.startJob starts. Okay, and if we have job done, we're going to say print job done. If we have a failed job, we're going to say print error. If we have progress, if we have our optimizer working, then we're going to say print working. And analysis technique, that's fine. Startup optimization, let's click. Okay, let's see what kind of errors we have. Method, define job, method void, define job. Okay. All right, so now we can hit, let's clear this out, and hit start optimization. Okay, we got an error. This symbol, I guess, I don't think it likes that symbol. Let's see what the error says. Strategy, missing strategy data. So let's put in, I know one of the things, James used to be on here a while ago, and so I made a strategy for James, and it was, that's what it was called. Or maybe we'll do the Al Brooks one. All right, but anyway, we didn't add our strategy here, right? So you got strategy up here. We didn't add the strategy. So we need to do strategy, which is the object. Strategy is the object here. Okay, so strategy is equal to TS opt. No. It's we've already moved out of the TS opt. So now we're at job dot strategies dot add strategy. End it there. And actually, because we're only doing one strategy, we'll just put the strategy name in there. So we'll do that same one, which was I think it was Al, and I spelled it wrong. I think I put 3 S's in there. Al Brooks. Go back over here. Al Brooks H1. Okay. Cannot assign strategy to strategies. Got a strategies right here. Change it to strategy. See, there you go. All right, start optimization. You see it's says working, job done. Okay. All right, so now we're going to turn label 1 into our highest amount of profit, right? So label 1. So once the job is done, we're going to turn the label 1 into the highest amount of profit. So go back to form, click on label 1. Label 1 is, let's go to properties. Label 1 is, we're going to call that profit label. Now we go back here, and we'll change the name too, because that looks kind of weird just starting off label 1. I'm going to say profit or best profit. Okay, go back here, and what you want to do is when you get to job done, you're going to say profit label dot text. So the text for the profit label, we're going to assign that. What is that going to be? What is it going to be? Well, we're going to take the argument. We're going to take the argument from the optimizer of jobs done, because now jobs is done. So we're going to take the argument, which is args dot results dot. And you see everything coming up right here. I mean, it really does a good job about everything coming up. So it's like you don't really have to guess with this. Now this is text. This is going to be a number. This is text. So you need to convert this number to a string, right? So how do you do that? Num to string. So you got a number, and then you need the amount of decimal places. We'll put 2 decimal places, so we have our we'll have our cents. Let's do this. Number string args. It's gonna be that. Okay. Start optimization turns from best profit to 60,000. Okay. But now that's 60,000 what? Let's make it $60,000. So text is going to be $ plus that. Okay. Now run it again. Best profit is $60,000. Okay. All right. So what about this? What about this progress bar? So progress bar is going to be working for progress. If you got progress going on. Okay. So if you have progress going on, let's go to the progress bar. We're going to go to the form, click on the progress bar, and then go to minimum. Minimum is going to be a 0, maximum is going to be 100. And so how do we get between 0 and 100 for progress? I guess we'll just be looking at the test counts, right? So we're going to say that progress bar dot value, that's going to be the value of the progress bar from 0 to 100. That's going to be the value. It's going to be equal to what? Args dot progress dot test number. I think that's going to be the test number that is currently on versus, and divide that and put that over top of progress dot test count, because I imagine that the test count is the total count test number is the current number that it's on regarding, within the test. So and then we're going to multiply that by 100 because that will be a fraction. All right, so hit that. All right, hit start optimization. See, it's going green, boom, boom. All right, so now what do we want to do is we want to change strategy input, so we can change that strategy input so we can put our Al Brooks H1 in by ourselves. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we change this strategy input information here to this strategy input here? Well, it's going to be the text from strategy input. And guess what? We named this strategy input. So let's go here and do strategy input, which is what we named it, and then we'll just do text. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing for here. For ticker, we're going to make this, the ticker is going to be, I think it was symbol input dot text. This stuff couldn't be much easier, man. I mean, it couldn't be much easier. All right, so this first one here, we're going to go over here. We're going to put, and I was kind of playing around with it. A lot of times, like when you're working with the dictionary and when you're working with different things, it does have to be case sensitive. I can't tell that it needs to be case sensitive when you're doing this. I know when you're working with the ticker, it always has to be capitalized. I didn't play around with that here, but just FYI. All right, so I did get an error there, so we got to figure out what's going on. Oh, Al Brooks. All right, so this is what happened, right? So Al Brooks is not a valid strategy. Why isn't it a valid strategy? Because that wasn't the name of the strategy. It was Al Brooks H1, something like that. And it was with 3 S's, H1, and then the ticker at ES. Start on optimization. See, it's working. Job done. Boom. 60,000. Okay. Now let's just change this. I'm going to make this NQ. And then we're going to hit start optimization. So if you ran it with NQ, it would have made this much, which, again, you can't really go off of that right now. We still have work to do. Okay. We still have work to do. We need to change the slippage. We need to change the slippage. We need to change the commissions. We need to do other things. The only other thing that I really want to do right now is when we go to job done. This is the last thing. I pretty much sailed through the most of it. This was the last thing that I really kind of needed to go back to the documentation for. Was you need to have a variable, and you're going to call it ts opt.results, and just call that object results, and then go down here. And then when the job is done, you're going to results equals, now what is that results object going to be? That results object is going to hold information. It's going to hold information from the argument that got us to job done. So args.results, I think, yeah, args.results, then you're going to write file. When you click that, I think it's just args.results first, and then you do results.write file. Why? I don't know. I mean, results object is storing the results information from the argument, and then you're going one step further. I don't know why you can't just do this all in one swing. I don't know. So anyway, all right, so I'm going to open up the file that I store my API optimizer API information to. Copy as path. That. Okay. And then after that, you need the whatever your delimiter is, which is a comma. Are you using comma? Then you got trade type dot think it was trade type. It sure doesn't like it. Doesn't like it one bit. Oh yeah, tsop.trade type. Okay, tsop. Like I said, these are those small details that'll get you. tsop.trade type dot all trades, then tsop dot, I think it was trade range. Results range dot all. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, boom. Hit done on that. Okay, now when I open my optimization API report, I get this, but I'm just going to delete that. Okay, we're going to go over here. We're going to start the optimization. Oh, that's right. I didn't put the information back into it. I need to put something in here at default. I don't know. H1. We're going to go at yes. All right, let it run. 6,000, 6,000. Okay. All right. So now we ought to be able to open this back up. Optimize the API, and you see it's stored this data. Control A, then Control C to copy it. Then you go to your Excel spreadsheet. Open that up. And then you paste. When you paste, you're going to go to Control there, use Import Wizard. You're going to go to delimited, comma delimited. Next, finish. And then there's your information, right? So 97 total trades, $60,000. But again, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is set on 100 contracts at a time or something like that. Okay, so what do we say? 97 trades. This was, how many days back did we go? $300 days back. 360, 300 days back. Performance report, trade list, 97. Okay, so does the exact same work. Does the exact same work. But the good thing about this is I don't know if I can make this change that quick without completely destroying everything I just did, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. So we're gonna do, because I think this changes to securities. Because I want to try multiple. If I do securities, then I have to do, I'm not going to use this for right now. If I do securities, multiple securities, instead of being able to do it like this, somehow securities gets here, and then you put a 0 for position, and then you do optimization symbol, and you change, and then you have a new one of these, which is tsopt dot optimization tsopt dot symbol. I'm pretty sure. I'm feeling like it's not. TS-opt dot. Oh, it's not symbol, it's opt symbol. Yep, boom. My little brain can remember a few things. All right, so opt symbol. Okay, and then we come down here, and then we'll say that opt symbol is equal to, no, I don't even think we do equal to. Yeah, this one is gonna get mad. Opt symbol dot add symbol at ES, and then we'll do opt symbol dot add symbol at NQ. So we got our security. So the job from the job name and class, job securities at index 0, opt symbol and then someone telling me that's not right. Yeah, this is going to be opt symbol and so once I change the securities class, all this has got to change. Crazy. I think I can still do this. Nope. All right, let's get some help. I said I wasn't even going to do this tonight, so, you know. Security. Job.securities.add security. Suggesting maybe I just don't need the strategy there. Okay, well, looks like that worked. Interesting. All right, well then the same thing would be for the interval. Well, not necessarily, but know that there's another one for tsop.opt interval. We'll call that opt interval. And our opt interval, we'll make that equal to job.securities dot securities of that dot opt interval. There we go. All right, now it's kind of coming back to me. All right, and then so then you do opt interval, and then you do dot add minute chart. It's coming back to me from working on this last night. So we're going to try optimizing this over 3 different time frames, 1, 5, and 10 minute time frames. And we're just going to take this and mute it out. And then we'll optimize the interval and the symbol. And I don't think we have to optimize the look back period. So security dot, what was history before? And I don't think I need a whole new, let's see, I wonder if job will let me get it. Nope, job dot. So there's the settings. You see how I was talking about before, the settings and the strategies. Job dot securities dot okay. So I could have done it just the way I had it. Security.opt symbol. I mean, I want to try it like that. Because to me, that makes more sense the way I had it. Okay, so to do multiple, we're going to go back in here. We're going to take out, take the opt out of it, and we're going to leave it how I had it, which was security. But I think yeah, okay. job equals equals job dot securities dot add security. Okay. All right, and then security dot symbol, security dot op symbol, add security dot add. But the thing is, I don't have an opt. Okay, maybe I don't need one. Okay, all right. So security dot but it's not coming up with that, because this is saying that you ought to be able to do security dot op symbol, and maybe that's because I got security there. Yeah, I should have just stopped where I was and then just worked on this tomorrow. But anybody who watches this channel knows that I just don't stop like that. So that's fine. That's fine. All right, security.op symbol, add symbol, security. And that's TSOP, security. I'm just going to try writing it and then see what it does. Security.op symbol.add. Well, that's coming up, which is odd. Please don't tell me that's going to work. I don't even think I need that right now. I don't need that right now. I do need a... Wow, I think that worked. That's crazy. And I'm going to tell you why it's crazy. I'm going to tell you why it's crazy. We're going to optimize the intervals as well. If this works also, which, I mean, if that worked, it'd be something like set minutes back. This one is calling an add minute chart. I'm going to do 1. Five, 1, and we'll do 10. Okay, so we got the security symbol interval. We got the strategy, and then we need the days back, the history component, which is here. Don't need this one. I say time. Okay. See, it doesn't. Wait a minute. Opt interval. What? What was that? Opt interval. Yeah, see, it doesn't like something in here. Add minute chart. Oh, good grief. Just make sure I have opt intervals, not a member of class. Desktop.security. Oh, really? Well, not according to your documentation. According to your documentation, it is. Gotta love it, man. You got to love it. Oh, or did I not spell it right? Yeah. Int. What? How did I spell it? Int viral. Yeah. Well. Hey, we can't all be perfect all the time. All right. Well. Whatever. Whatever. All right. So we're gonna do Al Brooks H1, and we don't need to put the ticker in because we're doing both add NQ and ES. It's running. It's taking a little bit longer. It's running. Why is it running over and over though? I mean, I guess it's running once for one ticker and then again for another ticker. Now it says job done, but yet this bar looks like it's still working. So that's peculiar. Well, it got to the end one time, so again, there's something going to be peculiar about the fact that it's run multiple times, and since it's being run multiple times, the total, yeah. I gotta figure out what to do about that. I mean, if it even knows how many total tests it's going to do at the beginning of one run. I don't know. Okay. All right, so that's something I gotta think about for tomorrow. All right, but let's go and let's pull up the report and see. I mean, that's a lot though, right? 230. I gotta put some spaces or something in there. 230,000. But again, I believe that this is moving at a pace of 100 contracts or 10 contracts at a time. So either way, it's pretty heavy. Pretty heavy. Optimizer API. This is what it pulled up. So this is what it wrote from this API optimization. So we're going to copy this, open up Excel, Control All, delete, paste. Well, don't like for me to run fast. All right, so 7, comma delimited, finish. Now yesterday when I was doing this, I got a lot more. Well, I was also that's the next thing we're going to look at. We're going to look at that real quick. And sheesh, I always say I'm going to do something real quick. Anyway, so the profitability factor on these things for this Al Brooks strategy is 48, 36, 36, 40, 30. And this is, you see the different time frames here. The best profit was on ES on the 10-minute time frame. And now, if any of you guys look at the stuff that I do, I'm pretty much on that 1 minute time frame, 15-second time frame, 10-minute time frame, 10-minute time frame, 10-minute time frame. Also for NQ was the highest on profit factor there, and then the 1 minute time frame for both NQ and ES, and then the 5-minute time frame came in third. 5-minute time frame actually didn't do very well for this specific strategy. And this is the benefit of having the optimization report, is that you can run this all at one time, and you can just all at one time see, boom, 5-minute time frame is not very good for this specific strategy. 10-minute time frame is the best. 1-minute time frame falls in the middle. That's all this optimization report is about. And then be able to run it over multiple strategies, or excuse me, multiple tickers, and see that, yeah, well, ES does much better than, well, not much better, but it does better than NQ. So not across all three time frames, but 2 out of 3 it was. All right, so the last thing I want to see tonight, and I think that ought to be enough, 11 o'clock. Last thing I want to see tonight is if I optimize the inputs. So that would be strategy dot I'm thinking that strategy dot opt input optimize strategy.el inputs dot optimize range. There we go. That's a function. So we're going to do the string name, so the name of the input, the starting range, the starting part of the range, starting value of the range, ending value of the range, and then what the increments will be. So we need to find out what the name of the inputs are. So we need to go to our chart. And find out what the name of, so for strategy, Al Brooks, customize, we'll just look for the inputs of stop margin and profit margin. And right now we're set at 1 and 2, so we'll go from 0 to 5. Stop margin, profit margin. Stop margin, profit margin. Alright, we're going to go to 0 to 5, and we'll go step by 1, and then we'll do strategy.el inputs dot opt range, go by 1, hit that. Alright, and then we'll hit start optimization. Now this ought to take a little bit longer. Because now we're going across multiple. Did I not fix the name? Going back into it. Al Brooks H1, and I don't need to change the ticker, remember, because looks like I typed the name in wrong still. When you have that many errors, it's time to hang it up, guys. H1. I think I put H exclamation mark. There we go. Now we're working. Now we're working. And the progress bar seems to be working pretty well so far. Beep, 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 yeah. Well, it made it to the end of the bar. But it doesn't quite yet say done. Well, it's still doing that last blinking bit. Does say job done. I think that 0 is from something else. Yeah, so it does say job done. I think when it gets to job done, I need to make it a solid green and just make it 100% or something like that. Yeah, because it shouldn't still be reflecting like it's got work to do. All right, so let's last thing, we're going to pull up that CSV file again, optimize the API, just going to copy, and I'm going to go back to Excel. All that, delete that, paste that. Now we got a real looking report here. Except I'm looking for the there we go, the controls, so I can do the import wizard. If you don't do that, you got nothing. You got nothing. Look at that. That's beautiful. Okay. All right. So the net profit, the highest one was 1,035,000. And again, I think this is over 10 contracts or something like that. So don't be alarmed. All right. And so the best inputs that we found was 4 for the stop margin and 5 for the profit margin. So at least it's better than a 1-to-1. You're not risking more than you're making. And it did work better on the 1 minute time frame, which is really how I designed most of my strategy. So I'm actually not surprised at that, but yeah, I don't know. So NQ, ES, NQ, ES. Okay, so ES is at the bottom. So yeah, I mean, where do the 5 minute time frames fall in? Not many 5 minute time frames fall in here. So the 1 minute and the 10 minute. Okay, so the 5 minutes fall in at the bottom of the list. So again, it's kind of similar to what we saw before, is that the 1 minute and 10 minute tend to be more profitable than the 5 minute time frame for this specific strategy on these specific tickers. So like I said, what I need to do now is go back, and yeah, that was a lot simpler doing it that last way that I did it instead of doing it the other way as I was trying to do it. So I'm just going to get this out of here. I'll clean this up. I'll have this cleaned up for tomorrow, and then what we'll do for tomorrow is we'll make this, we'll put a little bit more information on this, and then make it so that you can see your, or enter your inputs from this screen instead of having to enter it from this screen. Something like that. We'll come up with something. I don't want you to put too much stuff in here, because what's going to end up happening is if you don't put something in here and the program is looking for it, then you're going to run into errors anyway. So all right guys, well with that, I'm out. I'm Eric. I'm out. Oh yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, share it with somebody. You know, again, this might be something that you're interested in, the API. Again, once you download this, it'll just pretty much, you don't have to do a whole lot of stuff with it. You just go to apps and it'll be right there. It'll be right there, instead of you having to do all the stuff like you normally do with the studies and the show me's indicators for your charts. It'll just be right there. Okay, all right, with that, I'm Eric. I'm out. Peace.